1 in 4 New Yorkers can't afford basic necessities like food, rent, and doctor's visits. A new study at Columbia University found that poverty in America's most populated city is nearly double the national average. That's over 2 million New Yorkers, almost 500,000 of which are children, living in households where 4 more people are trying to live off a combined $47,000 a year. 58% of New Yorkers, or 4.8 million people, were in families with incomes below 200% of the poverty line, or $94,000 a year. Now, if you live in New York City or any comparable city, you're probably wondering, how could 4 people survive off of $47,000 a year? In New York City, rent alone is an average $3,900 a month. The 1 in 4 number is shocking, but you also have to remember that New York City is widely considered the wealthiest city in the country, if not the world. As the nerve center of US capitalism, New York City residents' cumulative wealth is over $3 trillion, more than the entire GDP of Italy, Canada, Brazil, or Russia. New York City also has more millionaires than any city in the world, with close to 350,000. In other words, there's plenty of wealth in New York. It's just distributed in the most unequal way imaginable. The study recommends a number of policies to alleviate the problem, like tax cuts for workers and tax cuts for workers with children. One thing that's not mentioned in the study that you might find interesting is that New York State has a law called the stock transfer tax, which taxes 5 cents from every sale of stock worth more than $20. In 2022, $443 trillion worth of stocks was traded on the New York Stock Exchange. Even taxing a small percentage of this wealth could greatly alleviate poverty in New York City and cities around the country. Wall Street transaction taxes have been proposed by progressive politicians like Bernie Sanders, but New York already has a stock transfer tax on the books and collects that tax every year. But get this. In 1981, the state started rebating this money back to Wall Street. New York State has lost a total of $400 billion over the last 4 decades because of these rebates. This new report is shocking, but what's most shocking is that you hardly hear anyone talking about it. You don't hear about it in Congress, you don't hear about it on the news. It doesn't even register as an issue. Even Donald Trump, who's not only from New York, but who also made his whole political marketing gimmick America First and Make America Great Again, hasn't said a thing about it. Why? It's because our political system is run by the same people who are responsible for the problem. The majority of the members in the 116th Congress were millionaires. The current presidential administration features 13 billionaires and is collectively worth close to $500 billion. It's widely understood that in American politics, politicians only answer to their donors. You'd think that widespread poverty in the most populous city in America would be cause for concern for the people running our country. But it isn't, because they're the ones who created the problem and the ones who benefit from it remaining unsolved. Even our media is controlled by the ultra-rich, so these kinds of things don't even get reported in places like Fox News or MSNBC. In fact, I'm sure a lot of you are only learning about this because you're watching Breakthrough News, which is why you should share this video and support our work